Most of them are on that colored suits, so do not set up a blow them up and mount them in the sidewalk and use them for tapping the door. I saw that in and there's another thing from the president.
But in the speech, right, everyone in the introduction, right, they will say that I am so and so and so, and I am today I am representing Usasana, Jelani. This evening we have Mr. Dwayne Haynes, whom you all know, who will give us some pointers on speaking. That's just a start. And then he will listen to the speeches. Some of those who sent speeches to him, he will know it by heart. And then he will make some comments to say for possible changes. I'm not sure how long we could do without the air condition, but Mr. Kirkland says we need it for the audio. Just pull it on the screen.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dwayne Haynes. I'm a graduate research assistant attached to the Office of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. I am pleased to be here to give you some tips on speaking orchestrated before an audience. First and foremost, do excuse my voice. It's a bit poor this evening. And one of the things I would like to impart to you is speaking at an appropriate register before an audience. That also includes conquering nerves. When you come before an audience, you should find coping strategies if you're nervous. Sometimes your hands are going to sweat. You are going to feel what this quote-unquote butterflies in the stomach. It takes practice. So it's advisable to stand before, look at yourself in the mirror, and try and practice that speech that you're going to deliver to that audience. Secondly, bring the correct energy. You need to psych yourself up. You can't be coming to talk about a crowd, let's say you're doing a party promotion, and you come before that crowd and you're like, we are throwing this party at Skinner's Park, San Fernando, and we would like, no. The energy, the euphemism, it needs to be there. You need to be able to pick the audience up, and they're going to feed off your energy, and likewise you are going to feed off their energy. Thirdly, the correct register. Know when to push your voice, and you would be pushing your voice not from the throat, but from the stomach. Breathing techniques is important. So, for example, I could take my voice higher as I go forth without having to shout and strain my voice at the same time. The voice is already poor, so you're not straining the voice. But taking that correct register and asserting yourself would allow you to command the audience. Fourthly, your speeches should be tailored in such a way that you should not be speaking above your audience. Now, this is something that some people would associate with elitism. That when you, and let's say you're dumbing down yourself to the audience, don't take it into that perspective. If you're going before, let's say, an audience of standard 5 children, you're not going to use words that they themselves would not be able to connect to, because they're only in standard 5. A speech being given at a graduate level, the vocabulary is going to be different. the expression is going to be different. This way, you will not lose your audience as you are trying to impart your message to them. You all understand what I mean by not speaking above your audience? It comes like you're going before, let's say, some deprived persons and you're using terms that are above their head. You need to break it down and then bring them on par with the term itself. So it's like you're connecting the dots for them and you're taking them along on that journey as you deliver your speech. And finally, I would say be confident. If you are not confident in what you're doing, it is going to show. And you don't want to be there and you are a total mess on that day. So the best thing to always do is be confident and prepare. Once you have done these 5 things, I think you'll be able to give a wonderful speech. And I thank you for your time. I think if St. John, I'll check the job because I have a filter on my email and if I haven't read it in 3 days, it's going to be deleted. Your stuff I have saved because I know, So I apologize for that. The material that was sent, everyone got it in terms of the reports. Now, something I've noticed with many of you all in reading your speeches, you all then define terms. You all start speaking in general about what the aspect is, if it's industrialization, if it's economic progress. But you all need to know that these are broad terms that needs to be narrowed and defined and then applied.
One question with that is that many of them decided not to define it because they didn't want to be redundant.
Develop a working definition. By a working definition, you're not just taking the definition from the dictionary and applying it. By now, I think you all should know some of the issues with the economy. So when I say a working definition, it's not a perfect definition, but it's a definition that is applicable to that situation. Alright? So even though, and it's good to also define the term because you don't want to be there on the day speaking on a topic and then someone asks you, so if economic progress is the key factor, what aspect can be applied to Zimbabwe or South Africa? You're going to freeze because 1, you didn't define the term. 2, they might be talking in general and not being specific. So you don't want to be in that category. If economic progress by means of, let's say, industrialization within the agricultural sector, if you're saying economic progress in terms of building knowledge societies, if you're saying economic progress in terms of introducing innovative technologies in IT and software infrastructure, fine, say that. Be specific. So this way you would not be lost and your audience itself will not be wondering what aspect of economic progress is it talking. One thing I want to do today, I found a website that has that assists persons with developing a model UN. I actually found it this morning. So, and I think I put a link in one of the speeches, so you all will get that too. Please circulate information to your colleagues. This is crunch time. I'm sorry I couldn't be here before on other Saturdays as I wanted, but I'm still not sure if I'll be here for the 31st, but I will try to be here to ensure that, it's a smooth process for you all and you all understand what you're doing. And by now you should understand what you're doing. So who'd like to go first?
It's definitely a privilege to speak on behalf of the President of Tunisia, Honorable Manchev Mazouki. Tunisia is undeniably a rich country in terms of our history, culture, and natural resources. Located at the northernmost bulge of Africa, Tunisia borders the Mediterranean Sea, situated between Algeria and Libya. With a population of approximately 11 million people, Tunisia is predominantly a Muslim country. Following independence from France in 1956, President Habib Bourguiba established a strict one-party state. He placed strong emphasis on economic and social development, especially education, the status of women, and the creation of jobs, another policy that continued under the Ben Ali administration. The result was strong in terms of social progress, high literacy and school attendance rate, low population growth rate, relatively low poverty rates, and generally steady economic growth. Tunisia has recently successfully advanced in its democratic transition and political reform process due to protests in December 2011 for unemployment, corruption, and the continued police state. This led to the former President Ben Ali to step down after 23 years in power. However, Tunisia's interim government was appointed shortly after and will remain in power pending drafting of a new constitution and holding of general election this year. In relation to Tunisia's economic history, from 1970 to 1980, in the era of state capitalism, Heda Nouara was the governor of the Tunisian Central Bank from its founding in 1958 until 1970, and was considered a very outspoken man who was in favor of a liberal economic policy. He aimed to pave the way for private enterprises and the market economy, helping to integrate Tunisia into the global economy. It was stated that Nouara was certainly conscious of the strategic position Tunisia had geographically, and in April 1972, a law was instigated to attract foreign investors. The law attracted new companies, especially in textile industries. Also, due to the strong influence of the Union on economic negotiation, Tunisia didn't achieve a liberal economy then. Conversely, in the era of Prime Minister Mohamed Mazili, Tunisian economy was ailing. As a result of the first major riot, the government had to surrender to the social demands and increase wages without increasing productivity. In seeking other sources of finance from different investors, Tunisia had for the first time luxury tourism. Tunisia's economy continued to improve in the late 1990s, making the country one of the most attractive in Africa for foreign investors. Although this faltered after 9/11, the economy had since bounced back, thanks to healthy export, renewed growth in tourism, and favorable climate conditions, which boosted agricultural production. Also under Prime Minister